Some hotel rooms hold nothing more than a quiet night's sleep. But every once in a while, a room becomes a place where the walls remember something far darker. In the winter of 1935, a man checked into a Kansas City hotel under a name that wasn't real, with almost no belongings, and a fear he could never explain. 3 days later, Room 1046 would become the center of one of the strangest and most disturbing mysteries in American history. And nearly a century later, no one can say for sure what really happened behind that door. This is the story of Room 1046. At 1:20 p.m. on January 2nd, 1935, a man who called himself Roland T. Owen walked into the President Hotel in Kansas City and rented room 1046. His appearance was unusual. He looked between 20 and 35 years old, with brown hair, a scar on his head, and a cauliflower ear, as if he had taken several blows. He wore a neat black coat, but carried almost nothing, only a comb, a brush, and toothpaste. Bellboy Randolph Probst escorted him to his room and immediately sensed something strange. When the maid, Mary Soptic, arrived to clean, Owen allowed her in, but told her not to lock the door because a friend is coming soon. The room stayed dark at all times. The blinds were tightly drawn. Only a single dim lamp was left on. Soptic said Owen looked tense and fearful, as if he was hiding from someone. No one knew this was only the start of a disturbing chain of events. At 4 p.m., she returned with towels. Owen was lying fully dressed on the bed, the door unlocked, the room still dark. On the desk was a note. "Dawn, I will be back in 15 minutes. Wait." The next morning, January 3rd, Soptic found the door locked from the outside, yet Owen was inside, sitting silently in the dark. Someone else had locked it. While she cleaned, she heard Owen answer the phone with a shaky voice. "No, Dawn, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry." Later that afternoon, she heard two male voices inside the room. A rough voice asked, "Who is it?" and then said they didn't need towels, even though none were in the room. That night, a woman in room 1048 heard a man and woman arguing on the same floor. It raised a question. Was Owen meeting not only Dawn, but also a mysterious woman? At 7 a.m. on January 4th, the switchboard noticed room 1046's phone off the hook. Probst went to check. A weak voice said, "Come in, turn on the lights." But the door was locked. No one opened it. At 8:30, another bellboy used the passkey. Owen was lying naked on the bed, motionless. Dark stains, later confirmed as blood, covered the sheets. The bellboy assumed he was drunk, fixed the phone, and left. At 10:30, Probst returned and saw a horrifying sight. Owen was kneeling near the door, slumped on his elbows and knees, his hands holding his head. Blood covered the walls, the bed, and even the ceiling. Probst ran downstairs in shock. Owen was still alive, barely. When detectives asked who had done this, he whispered, "Nobody." I fell against the bathtub, but the injuries told the truth. His wrists and ankles had been tied. His skull was fractured. His chest had been stabbed multiple times. There were marks of strangulation. This was torture, not an accident. In the early hours of January 5th, Owen died in the hospital. Doctors said the injuries occurred 6 to 7 hours before he was found. That meant he was already tortured when the first knock came at his door. When investigators searched for his identity, they discovered Roland T. Owen didn't exist. His body was held at a funeral home. Newspapers printed his photo, but no one claimed him. Just before he was buried in a pauper's grave, an anonymous call came. "Don't bury him in a pauper's grave. I'll send the money. Bury him near my sister." Days later, cash arrived wrapped in newspaper. A bouquet of roses followed, with a card. "Love forever, Louise." A year later, someone recognized his picture. The man was actually Artemis Ogletree, only 17 years old. His mother revealed she had received 3 typed letters from him in the spring of 1935, after he was already dead. He didn't know how to type. The writing didn't sound like him. Many theories emerged. Dawn was the killer. Dawn acted with a woman. Artemis was murdered for betraying a fiancé. Anonymous callers said, "A traitor always gets what he deserves." But none of the theories could be proven. The mystery of room 1046 remains one of the most chilling, unsolved cases in American hotel history. The image of Artemis, kneeling in the dark room, still haunts anyone who hears this story. And the truth behind his death, the identity of Dawn, the unknown woman, and everyone involved, remains buried in darkness.